What's going on, guys? We are back, the Sports Prophets here, as always brought to you by Barcode Suppliers. I'm here with our guy, Stephen Livingston.
Yes, sir.
And our other fellow, Jacob Rickard, visiting from Tallahassee, Florida this weekend.
What's good?
All
He's
right,
a
guys.
little under the weather.
Little bit under the weather.
I'm
but
going to tough it out for my boys.
He's here to tough it out, talk some Week 10
Bring
lines.
that prophecy.
He's gonna spit a little bit of knowledge today to hopefully
Prophets don't get sick.
increase your guys' bank accounts.
Absolutely.
A little bit of action we had going on. Recording this on Friday. Obviously, I'm assuming a lot of people watched the Thursday night game. Richard Sherman, breaking news out of that game, done for a season with ruptured Achilles.
Yeah.
Hear a lot of people criticizing these Thursday night games. Anybody have any insight on that? What do you think about them? What do you not like about them?
Yeah, I mean, always seems like the loser has something to complain about. Never really hear much out of the winners, but it makes the NFL a ton of money. I believe it's about $1 billion a year they make off the Thursday night games, so they are here to stay.
Absolutely. I mean, they're selling all these jerseys and whatnot. You know, they got the color rush. I see it as a huge business opportunity for the NFL, and as you can tell, they are all for these kind of games because as soon as college football ends, we have NFL on Saturday nights. So any chance to get these primetime games going where I'm sure ad space is much more expensive and they definitely make the most money, the NFL is going to take advantage because first and foremost, it is a business.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Thursday night games, I think they give some teams a little more exposure too. Sometimes I feel like a lot of Thursday night games. I mean, I know most teams do get a Thursday night game, but they also get some smaller markets a little bit more exposure because they're kind of individualized and they have their own day set aside for their game. So I do feel like it's actually a good thing for the smaller markets to have Thursday night games. But then again, a lot of players do have a lot to say about their safety during Thursday night games, not having enough time to heal before the game. So I see both sides of it, but personally, I agree with you guys. It's not going to go anywhere. NFL makes too much money off of it.
And the injuries just keep adding up for Seattle. Unfortunately, they did lose Richard Sherman. They've lost so much.
Yeah, I think I even saw Cam Chancellor go into the tent.
They
last night.
Russell Wilson went to the tent, but he was out of there pretty quickly. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very eventful week in the NFL this past week. No big stories. The only story that I think is worth mentioning is this whole bullshit we have going on with Ezekiel Elliott. I believe officially suspended until at least December 24th. As always, I'm tired of seeing these headlines. It's just the same old shit every week, but I'm glad that they can finally table this for now, and we'll see where this goes from there. That definitely affects the lines for Dallas's matchup this week as well. Other than that, it was a pretty uneventful week. Let's just go ahead and jump right into our matchups this week. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Thursday night game we had. Obviously, Seattle, Arizona, NFC West matchup. Arizona was the 6-point underdog in that one. So, definitely an interesting event at the last play. It depends what sports books you bet on, whether they covered or not. If you took Arizona, they pushed according to CBS lines at 6 points. They blocked an extra point that would have covered that. So it was pretty interesting there. But I had Seattle on the money line and Arizona straight up at the +6. So pushed there. But what'd you guys think about that game?
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a slow game. I was actually surprised with Stanton. I don't think his numbers turned out that great. He had a lot of drops, and when they moved the ball down the field, it was really mostly penalties. But I thought he did a lot better. I mean, they didn't really have a run game with Peterson going. Seattle held him in check, so I was really surprised how accurately he was throwing the ball. It just didn't really amount to anything, unfortunately. But I think Arizona will be all right going forward. I think they'll stay competitive. But in terms of the game, I kind of figured Seattle was not one to drop a dud on a Thursday night like we see so much.
Yeah, I really think it came down to there was about a minute before the end of the first half there, where Arizona was driving, and they were about to score, actually, and I believe they had a holding call, kind of backed them up out of field goal range, and I think they went for it on fourth down, didn't get it, gave the ball back to Russell Wilson, who actually got a field goal right before the half. So that's basically, could be a 10-point swing there, which if you think about it, might have even swayed not only the line, but also the outcome of the game, really, if they get a catch there for a touchdown or even like a field goal or something there. Get them a little closer, give them a little more momentum, maybe going into halftime. But I think that was a difference there. But I don't think Arizona has anything to... I mean, yeah, the run game was not there. Obviously, they wanted to get Peterson involved. I don't think Arizona really has an identity as of yet since they lost Palmer. So that'd be interesting to see what they find there. And I think Seattle really is struggling to fend off all these injuries and actually find something they can depend on in the running game, and also a real receiver that they can actually count on every time. I know Baldwin's kind of been there a lot this year, but I think Wilson really needs to either key in on him or really find some guys to spread it around to, because I know they do have some weapons there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I see Seattle the one that kind of needs to find their voice after all these injuries they did suffer throughout the season.
But how about that double spin, Russell Wilson, click the ankles, throw it downfield to Baldwin.
Dog chasing its own.
That was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
That was the most exciting play of the game, for
That
sure.
definitely was, yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Let's see, what game do we got? We got the Vikings heading into Washington. Redskins, Sunday, 1 o'clock game. Minnesota is the 1.5-point favorite in this one. A little bit of trends going on in this game. Minnesota is 4-2 against the spread and 5-1 straight up in its last 6. And they are 4-2 against the spread versus Washington and 4-2 straight up in this one. Steve, what do we got stats-wise on this?
Yeah, this is a tough one to pick. Seems like every week we don't really know what's going on at the quarterback position with Minnesota, but I know they were thinking about putting Bradford on the IR. They were thinking about bringing Bridgewater back. He's not going to be ready yet, so we might get Case Keenum. But he hasn't been too bad. Only threw 3 picks, 7 touchdowns on the year, 88% passer rating. But the defense has been doing a great job. Running-wise, they got Latavius Murray. He's not really running the ball too great. 249 yards. They've really been using McKinnon as a pass-catching back. And same with Chris Thompson as a pass-catching back as well.
If go Knowles.
Yeah, go Knowles there. Yeah, I think I do like Washington in this game with the 1.5 point that they're getting as well. They're 3-1 at home this year, and I don't think Minnesota has too much to lean on here. I know they are a division leader right now, but I don't really know if they have too much of an identity. I know Stephon Diggs has kind of stepped down after his early season stardom, and I know Washington even does have they've been one of the better passing defenses this year. So, yeah, I do think I like Washington here at home. I know Cousins really played well against Seattle last week, leading them back. And I think Washington has a lot. I like what Steve said there about Chris Thompson, go Knowles, to lead the way there in the run game. I think I like Washington here with the 1.5, and that's why.
Yeah, this is a tough game to pick.
Absolutely.
Minnesota has won 4 of their last 6 games versus Washington, but I'm ready to make that 4 of their last 7 games versus Washington. I'm taking Washington.
There you go.
I'm taking them with the points. Even though Washington's offense is kind of beat up, I'm still going to take them. I think 1.5 is enough to go ahead and take the spread as well. But I think Minnesota loses this game.
Tell you what, to make things interesting, I'm going to go against you guys. I'm taking Minnesota to win the game and to cover the 1.5 point favorite in this one. Big game for them, especially with Detroit lurking behind them in the division, who is obviously going to pick up a win this week as we discuss the game as their matchup later on. But
oh, yeah, I forgot Detroit has a bye.
Yeah. Yeah, Detroit's on bye week this week. But, I think this is a good game. We'll be watching on Sunday. Next game we got NFC North matchup. The stunned offense that is Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears, Soldier Field. 1 o'clock game. Chicago is the 5.5 point favorite. It's really still hasn't quite set in, seeing all these lines against Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers obviously under center. Green Bay 2-5 against the spread in the last 7. And Chicago, surprisingly, has actually been 5-1 against the spread, and in their last 6, and 8-1 against the spread at home in their last 9 games at home. So interesting stuff there. What do we got going on this game?
Yeah, this game's going to be complete crap if you're a fan watching football. Brett Hundley, he's been pretty bad. Touchdown, 4 picks. I think he attempted a couple passes over 10 yards. Not sure if he completed one. Mitchell Trubisky hasn't been much better. I mean, Jordan Howard is really the only thing that's going to be fun watching in this game. I doubt Jordy Nelson or Cobb or whoever's catching passes for Green Bay nowadays is going to see much, as Hundley really didn't look comfortable in that offense. So I'll be looking forward to see what they can do with him. But I like Chicago. I think they'll pull out the win here. I'm not sold on the 5.5 that they're getting, though. I think this is going to be like a 13-16.
I'm curious to know what the over/under is on this game.
That's 37.5. There might be like a two field goal apiece. Yeah. Maybe someone scores a fluke touchdown, but I don't think it's going to be a very exciting game.
Yeah, I think Chicago's defense is definitely going to make this difficult for Brett Hundley. As you mentioned, receivers such as Jordy Nelson, who is really only a deep threat kind of receiver. Obviously, Brett Hundley does not have a deep arm, so unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing any of those guys.
If Chicago watched any of the tape, they would see all you got to do is put a little bit of pressure on him, and he's out of the pocket like a.
Definitely agree there, Steve. Yeah, if you got Mason Crosby or Robbie Gould here in your fantasy leagues, I'd give them a start for your kicker. And yeah, I know Chicago relies heavily on those 2 backs, Howard and Cohen. I don't think they, as long as a rookie running back, they probably do like to give to the running backs quite often. And Green Bay's been in the bottom half of the league so far this year as far as rush defense. And yeah, I like. But yeah, back to what you were saying, Bill, about the Aaron Rodgers effect. This game, I think it'd probably be close to a touchdown favorite for Green Bay if he's playing this game.
Absolutely.
So it's about 12. If you're thinking about it, Vegas getting about a 12-point swing just for Aaron Rodgers, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, I think I like Chicago straight up, and I think I do like Green Bay with the 5.5. I think it's going to be like a close one, like Steve said.
Tell you what, I have zero interest in this game. I intend to watch none of it. I have no reason to watch none of it, as I have no fantasy players on either of these teams. But I'm going to make things interesting for the sake of this podcast. I'll pick Chicago to win. I think that should be a given. And Chicago, I'll take them on the 5.5 point spread. Maybe they'll get lucky and score some sort of fluke touchdown on defense or special teams or something like that to make that plausible. Steve, and you were going Chicago on the win and Green Bay on the points, correct?
Correct.
All right. So next game we got is we got our boy Stevie Livingston's Steel City heading into the Indianapolis Colts, who
Super Bowl or bust this year.
Who the Colts are coming off of a win. They might be they might be on their high horse after beating the Deshaun Watson-less Texans. Pittsburgh is the 10-point favorite in this one. Pitt has been 4-1 against the spread in its last 5, and 8-3 against the spread in its last 11 road games. Pitt, I'd like to hear Steven's insight on Pitt so far this season. He's definitely the one to know most about this.
Yeah, it seems like they're definitely winning, not being a convincing style at all. They've got a pretty easy stretch coming up, so I don't think we're going to be able to see the true Pitt that we're looking forward to. But after the bye week is where Mike Tomlin normally thrives. They're pretty good after the bye week, especially now that they're playing a 3-6 team. We'll know this week if they're going to be able to handle business down the road or not. It looks like Big Ben's getting a little bit better. The emergence of Juju Smith-Schuster on that offense is pretty exciting. Le'Veon Bell's toting the ball like old Le'Veon Bell. And it's really not good that they lost Vontae Davis, because the last time Antonio Brown matched up against him, he just absolutely torched him. So it's going to be a big day in the air. I think Big Ben's going to have a pretty good game. But I would not be surprised if Indianapolis covered the spread here. Just as a Steeler fan, I haven't missed a game in about 5 years. I would not be surprised at all if this one was close and if Brissett was able to keep those numbers up and do something special here. But I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be a Pittsburgh blowout. It's going to be the first of many. They haven't scored over 30 points this season yet, but I think this is going to be the week, and they're going to open up a rude awakening for the rest of the NFL. So I'm going to take them on the win and on the points as well.
Couldn't agree with you more there. As I saw, I got that alert about Davis being cut or released, whatever you want to say, due to his season-ending injury to an already atrocious pass defense. This must have Pittsburgh just licking their chops as they're getting ready to head into Indianapolis, specifically Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster and Ben Roethlisberger. Big game in the air, as Steven said. Hopefully we'll see. Hopefully it's just one of those games where we see a lot of deep balls. It makes the games exciting.
Supposedly we're supposed to see Martavis Bryant back in action.
He's going to be active this week?
Looks like he might be featured in the offense a little bit more.
Interesting. That's always been a developing story since they...
let's hope so, because I think if they don't, he's definitely going to make a fit again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Pitt's going to win here pretty easily. I think they'll have control of the game the whole way. Indy hasn't fared very well against the pass or the rush. Really, their defense is pretty atrocious, which we know Pitt's pretty good at in both the pass and the rush. They have the best running back in the league. Shout out to my boy Billy on that New Jersey. And they also have some receivers. I don't know if you know a guy named Antonio Brown, pretty good receiver. And then...
Speaking of Antonio Brown, I believe he's going to enter his 5th straight year with 100 receptions or more in a row, which I don't think has ever been done in the NFL.
Yeah, that's crazy. What I would like to say though is I do think Indy is going to cover the spread. I know Pitt kind of does like to play down to their opponent.
Absolutely.
And Indy has only lost one game this year by more than 10 points at home.
Interesting.
And that was against the Jags. That was a divisional matchup. So, yeah, I think I like Pitt here definitely to win. But I like Indy. I think it's going to be like a 27, call it 18 game. I think they barely cover.
Tell you what, I got Pitt going down on the straight up as well, and I got them on the spread. But Pitt could really ruin my day on Sunday if they don't win, as I have them in multiple parlays, and I know Steven probably does as well.
Absolutely.
So hopefully they don't ruin my day and make me hate life for the rest of that Sunday. It'll be an interesting game. Hopefully Pitt gets back on track, as I believe, and I'm sure as many Pittsburgh fans believe, that they have a championship-winning formula.
Yeah,
they have a phenomenal defense, as we've seen all year, and their offense, on paper, is the most talented offense in the NFL. For some reason, has not been performing to its standards, but hopefully we'll see that get back on track.
My prediction for Big Ben, 335 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 pick.
Who's the 2 touchdowns going to?
It's going to be a surprise.
One pick and against this team?
Here,
I'd be surprised if he throws any.
Prophet speaks. One of them will be to Jesse James.
Yeah?
Jesse James.
Can you tell me?
And he's going to be, I'm already seeing it now. He's going to be wide open, standing in the middle of the field on about a 4-yard pass.
Can I get a touchdown out of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell too?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I want to see a Cinderella story. I see 3 touchdowns to Martavis Bryant. So
I hope that absolutely does not happen.
I hope it doesn't happen either. I want to see Juju celebrations. They said
Absolutely.
He said he's got a list on his phone ready for action.
That's pretty
And
fun.
he's supposed to be getting Big Ben on one soon.
Oh, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that.
celebration.
I would like to see that.
Let's move it.
Next game we got the Chargers heading into the Jaguars, red hot, leading their division in the AFC South. Jacksonville is a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Let's see, we got the Chargers 3-10 straight up in its last 13 games. That's pretty shitty if you ask me. Jacksonville is 8-3 against the spread in its last 11 games, and that's pretty good if you ask me. Jacksonville's defense once again has been playing some lockdown D. Jalen Ramsey obviously getting in AJ Green's head, had a little free pay-per-view action of an octagon fight on the field last Sunday. So that secondary has been pretty lights out, as well as that front seven. Yeah, I'm going Jacksonville with the straight up here, and I'm taking them on the 3.5 points. I think they're onto something defensive wise, and they will, hopefully, if Leonard Fournette doesn't do anything stupid like not missing team photos or any dumb shit like that, and he's actually in the backfield for once. I think this 3.5 should be a breeze for them to cover as Leonard Fournette gets back in the game.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. I think Leonard Fournette. Chargers are the 5th to worst rush defense this year, so I think Fournette's going to pop off this game. One person I think that a lot of people have flown under the radar as far as having a bad season has been Joey Bosa. I don't think he's really had much for sacks this year. I think Jacksonville's going to play their game here. I don't think they're going to do too much. I know they have had a pretty good record at home this year. I think I like them on the spread and
They do not have a good record at home.
They don't have a good record.
I think they have 1 win, the rest losses.
Okay, so I still like them at home here.
You should like them
against the Chargers. I know Philip Rivers likes to throw the ball around. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be the same buffoon that he usually is, getting in the heads of those receivers.
I'm assuming Jalen Ramsey is going to be shadowing the likes of Keenan Allen.
Jalen Ramsey might see 3 balls thrown his way, but that's all right because that's only about 30% of the balls that are going to be thrown that day. Leonard Fournette hasn't played in 3 weeks. He was injured, so they held him out. Then they had the bye week. Then he was out last week due to disciplinary reasons. He's going to be hungry. He wants to run the ball. They're going to get it moving. They know they got to score some points versus Phillip Rivers. But, yeah, I think they'll be able to cover this spread and get the win. Obviously get the win, but they'll be able to cover the spread, the 4.5.
Jake, were you going on it was 3.5. Jake, you got them covering 3.5?
I got them both.
All
Jacksonville
right, cool.
both, yeah.
Cool. Next game we got you have 4.5. What is that on?
This is the score. I believe they take CBS.
They must have changed the lines. I got these earlier in the week.
Next
game we got the good matchup, guys. Jets, Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay. Jets are the 2.5 point
Before
favorite.
you say anything, I just ate a W. Go ahead.
Bum-ass Jameis Winston eating W's before getting blown out by 20-plus points, I believe, to the Saints. And poking people in the side of the head. I think he got fined like $14,000 for it.
I want to know what he was pointing at when they're down.
Some dumb shit. I know he wasn't pointing at that scoreboard.
Yeah, I know it definitely wasn't
pointing. He's pointing at a bug on the back of his head.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, and obviously the Buccaneers will be missing the likes of Mike Evans in this game, suspended for 1 game for hitting that dude.
Fitzpatrick is going to get the go at quarterback, I believe.
Yep, I think they officially shut down Jameis Winston for a few weeks, and I don't know, they activated some bum dude I've never even heard of onto the 53-man roster. So,
bold prediction: Jameis Winston doesn't play for the rest of the season.
All right.
If they lose this game, I like that.
Yeah, I like that prediction.
If they lose this game, I like that a lot.
For sure. Let's see. What do we got?
Yeah,
New York is 6. They got 6 wins against the spread and 1 push in the last 7. New York's obviously trending in the right direction when it comes to the spread. They came off a big Thursday night win against Buffalo, so they're going to have a couple extra days of rest. And I see the Jets taking this one at least by a field goal, as I got only a 2.5 point spread on this one.
Yeah, I think I like the Jets here too as well. They actually do look like a really gritty team this year. They've contended with a lot of good teams. I don't think Tampa Bay. They had a lot of expectations. I think going into this year, Tampa Bay. They had some components to their team, but I don't think
they definitely did not exceed any expectations that the fans were expecting. Most people were talking playoffs for this team.
I heard a couple Super Bowl picks.
And this team is at the bottom of the division.
Yeah, this team's struggling. I think they got 1 more year left with the head coach there, and then I think he might be out. Maybe not even that long if this season doesn't go anywhere near what they're expecting. But yeah, I expect Jets to cover the spread since it's that close and win straight up.
Yeah, this is going to be a twin resume quarterback matchup between Josh McCown and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Absolutely.
They're pretty much the same person. McCown's got the 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 96 passer rating. Fitzpatrick hasn't had the sample size that McCown has, but still very similar, 95 passer rating. And then you got Forte and Martin, which really have been producing.
Forte is out for this game.
Is he out?
Yeah, I just saw that today. He's going to be out with a knee injury, so it's going to be all
breaking news.
Bilal Powell.
Powell's not bad either. Then you got Doug Martin, who put up a dud last week versus the Saints, but they were kind of getting blown out there, so they had no choice but to throw the ball. But yeah, I think the Jets are going to win this matchup. Given the 2 points, I think they'll. I think I'll take the over as well.
Yeah, I had something to say about this, but it just completely flew over my head. Oh, bold move on my part. I am absolutely screwed at quarterback this week in fantasy, so I have Ryan Fitzpatrick in my lineup right now. Good decision, bad decision.
Well, if you gotta play him, you gotta play him, I guess.
If you have to ask, I think you already know.
Yeah.
But you got no choice.
It's either that, Eli Manning, who plays the 49ers, Josh McCown, who plays the Bucks. Unfortunately, Steven took Jared Goff off the waivers from me, which kind of pisses me the hell off because he doesn't need him.
This is true.
You're leaving one very valuable Iowa Hawkeye,
Oh
CJ
my
Beathard.
gosh, he wants me to start CJ Beathard against the freaking Giants. You know I'm staying away from that.
Stay away,
bro.
Let's move on.
Sleep.
All right, we got the freaking thug team that is the Cincinnati Bengals out here freaking body slamming corners and kicking Le'Veon Bell in the head or whoever he was kicking in the head.
Cheap shotting boys.
Oh man, they're playing the Tennessee Titans, who probably has one of the nicest. I feel like Marcus Mariota is probably one of the nicest guys of all time.
He's a nice guy.
He looks like a nice dude.
He's a nice guy.
It's going to be an interesting matchup.
He's the kind of guy that takes a picture with your baby.
Absolutely,
Yes.
They're the 4.5 point favorites at home in this one. Let's take a look at what we got here. We got
I got 4.5 for Tennessee.
Yeah, I got 4.5 as well, and I got them at they're 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games, I believe, and then they have a pretty good history of covering the spread at home. They've covered it 6 times in the last 8 with 1 push. Tennessee, I didn't get a chance to watch them last week coming off the bye.
Yeah, Tennessee, both of these teams really have been really inconsistent all year. You really don't know what you're going to get. I think as of right now, I like the way Mariota's playing over Andy Dalton. Just right now, I know they have kind of similar numbers there. Andy Dalton, a couple more touchdowns, a couple more picks. But I think this is going to be a ground and pound game for the Titans. I think I would not be surprised if A.J. Green went off for about 250 yards. Just given the disrespect they've been putting on his name.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna take Tennessee here with the win. I think the 4.5 points is really a toss up. I would not be surprised if either team got blown out or either team won by 1 point.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tennessee on both here. As I like the likes of Marcus Mariota playing recently, and I don't know about you guys, but I can say wholeheartedly that I absolutely hate the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're the dirtiest team in the NFL.
I think they hate themselves.
I honestly hate that team, bro. I do not like them.
Yeah, it's like it'd be one thing if they were good, but they're not even good.
I know.
It's like that kid who walks up on the basketball court, talks all that crap, and he's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I know Cincinnati's had a pretty good defense this year so far, but they are a pretty dirty team, and they don't really have. They got a few star players, but I don't think they really have anything they can lean on. I know Green seems to be a pretty good player, but I don't know if they can lean on him, considering Dalton's kind of streaky. So I do like Tennessee in this game. I don't like them by the 4.5. I think Cincinnati keeps it close, but I think Tennessee wins. Straight up, I like Cincinnati to cover.
The official brand of the Cincinnati Bengals, BBB, Big Baller Brand.
Big Baller Brand. Bunch of thugs.
Bunch of LeVar balls.
Out there stealing some damn shit in China.
Grabbing balls. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Next game we got the we got the red hot Saints, whose defense has been locked down, playing.
Not typical Saints there.
Absolutely not. And they're playing the Buffaloes, who kind of just came off of that.
The Buffaloes.
They came off that little kick in the nuts on Thursday Night Football, didn't they?
I'm never worried when someone loses a Thursday night game.
They came off a little kick in the nuts. Obviously, they had the inactive Kelvin Benjamin. Go Knowles. We'll see. He's. I'm assuming he's going to play this week.
Yeah, they said he's active this week.
After several days of practice. New Orleans is the 3-point favorite in this one. Obviously, Buffalo has been phenomenal at home this season. New Orleans has been 5-1 against the spread in its last 6 on the road, if that's worth anything to you guys. And New Orleans is 4-1 straight up and against the spread versus Buffalo in previous meetings. New Orleans has been playing some of the best defense this league has seen in the past 5 weeks. I believe I saw statistics where they were letting, in the past game, they were letting, I think it was 159 yards in the air and like 3 or 4 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in their last 5 weeks, which is pretty astounding numbers there. However, I believe Buffalo is more of a run-first team with the legs of Tyrod Taylor and the legs of LaShawn McCoy in this one. However, I think New Orleans is a freight train, and I don't know if the Bills are going to be the ones that can stop it, which is why I have New Orleans winning this game by more than 3, covering the spread.
Here come the Saints marching in. Yeah, I like the Saints here as well. Buffalo, I don't know. I'm never sold on them. I feel like they always are the little brother to the Giants or the Jets, even though the Giants and the Jets both suck this year and have for a while. I feel like the Bills are kind of getting the notoriety they deserve there in New York now, but I do like Drew Brees and the Saints here. I like them by even more than 3. I like them by about 8. I'm gonna say they win this game 28-20 on the road here. I know Buffalo has been. I think they've been pretty good at home this year.
They've been very good.
They've been very good at home this year, I believe. So yeah, I like the Saints to actually keep rolling, win this one by about 8.
High 30s in Buffalo, one of the hardest places to play.
Yeah?
I'm taking the Billies. I completely disagree with you about Tyrod Taylor. He's been on fire. 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Only 10 under for the passer rating behind Drew Brees, who's also been well. Drew Brees, top 7 or top percentage in completion percentage and passer rating. But I like the Bills at home. Hard to pick against them. Michael Thomas is beat up. I think they had some other injuries on the defense. Kenny Vaccaro didn't even play last week. Bills have one of the best defenses in the NFL, especially when they're at home. They're going to be hot, and they're going to be looking for revenge. And I watched that New Orleans game last week. I know they blew out Tampa, but, man, Tampa was just so awful. They were doing everything they could to give it away. So I think they're New Orleans, given the game last week, they're probably overlooking Buffalo this week. So I'm taking Buffalo.
You said it was going to be in the high 30s, that game?
Looks like it's high 30s to 40 degrees, yes.
There you go. Gotta love November, December football.
And when you're New Orleans Saints playing in that dome that's hard to adapt.
Yes.
Especially when you got those young receivers.
Yeah.
Next game we got on our slate here, Detroit's on their bye week playing the Cleveland Browns in Detroit. Non-surprisingly, 11-point favorites in this one. All right, let's take a look at this. Cleveland, 0-4 and 1 push in its last 5 road games against the spread. 11's a lot to cover, but damn, did the Lions look good on when they played the Packers. Matthew Stafford has been playing some pretty good football. He's got guys like Golden Tate and Marvin Jones to throw it to, who both those receivers played lights out the other night. Tell you what, Browns are too atrocious for the Lions to not cover this 11 points for me. Once again, Cleveland, or I should say Detroit, could really ruin my Sunday if they lose this game. I highly doubt they will.
They're not going to lose.
but they could just ruin my Sunday. But I'm taking them on the 11 points, and I'm taking them on the win.
Boys, I've been quiet. And that's because I'm picking the Browns. Nah, I'm just kidding. I can't pick the Browns in this game.
Got him.
Nobody can pick the Browns in this game. They're terrible.
If you pick the Browns, you're winning a lot of money.
If you pick the Browns, you probably
Absolutely,
should
bro.
buy about 16 lottery tickets for the next month and a half.
And you should probably buy a weird. Help me out here, guys.
What are you
a
trying?
wheelbarrow
A
for
wheelbarrow.
your nutsack
Yeah.
because they are.
Yes.
Got some
Yes.
meaty clackers, bro. Got some huge stones.
A forklifts to carry
Dude,
those
some
babies
big
around.
stones.
Because the Browns are not winning this game, and they're not covering the spread because my boy Marvin Jones, who I just picked up from Steve for Kirk Cousins, is going to have a touchdown again this week.
Kind of regretting that trade just a little bit.
He got two
Nah,
last
not
week.
really. I needed a quarterback.
Yeah,
Lost to
it was a
Sean
fair
Watson.
trade. It was
Needs a
pretty good.
quarterback, but he picks up Jared Goff off the waivers. Steve, what do you
gotta
got?
do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I like Detroit, obviously, with the win. I'm taking Cleveland with the points, and I think everybody else in the world is with me. I think this line dropped 2 points since it went out, so the smart money's on Cleveland.
It's on 9?
It was at 12.5. I got 10.5 on my
Okay.
on my score app.
Half.
Detroit 4-4. I think they're better than what their record states. Matt Stafford has been playing lights out, and I think if he was on the right roster,
They had a really tough schedule.
yeah. But he should be an MVP candidate. 14 touchdowns, only 4 picks, up there in that 2,000 yards already halfway through the season. So
Who's this Stafford?
Yeah.
Matt Stafford,
Yeah, he got paid, so very.
and
Gotta
yeah,
ball
like
out.
you said, they got those little mini quick receivers, slants down the field, hit you with a wheel route, fake out, go up kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland with the points, but Detroit's going to win. If you're looking to put your money on the money line, it's going to take you about $100 to win 5.
Stay away.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Another big point favorite here. We got the Rams, who just came off that win, blowing out the Giants.
Took a doker out.
Yeah, that kind of caught Vegas' attention, which kind of gave them this huge line here. They're playing Houston. They are in LA, and LA is 11-point favorites. LA 4-1 against the spread in its last 5, and 4-1 straight up in its last 5. Jared Goff played phenomenal football last week. It was against a terrible team, but I'm still going to bookmark that as phenomenal football. And they got Todd Gurley, one of the best backs in the league, playing some great football as well. Houston, it's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe this team. It's like they had the training wheels with Deshaun Watson and a toddler's riding the bike. And when they lost Deshaun Watson, they took the training wheels off, and the toddler just fell over and started crying. I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
Pretty good analogy.
This team's hurting. Tom Savage is trash. They tried to lead a little bit of a comeback there against Indy, but LA's been playing too good of football for me not to take the 11 points here. So I'm going to take them straight up and on the spread.
Yeah, I think I agree there. I know LA. They have had a great season with Gurley, a comeback season. I know last year he did not have the type of season he was looking for. And I know
Sophomore slump.
Houston hasn't been great against the run this year. It looks like they are. It looks like they're definitely in the bottom half of the league there. I guess so is LA. So yeah, I expect both Miller and Gurley to have good games this week. And I do expect LA. I'm calling it now. Touchdown from my boy Cooper Kupp. Shout out all them white boys out there. But I don't like Houston to cover the spread here. I like Houston to win. I think it's going to be a 26-17 game. LA wins.
You said you have LA not covering?
Not covering.
Okay. Steve, what do we got from you, my guy?
Yeah, Jared Goff's playing lights out. We got Jared Goff playing lights out. 2,000 yards already on the season. Tom Savage is like a lost puppy out there. They're just going to run it down their throats and pass it when they have to. And if they just happen to peek over that 50-yard line, they got 3 points for sure.
Yeah,
Joking.
Greg Zuerlein has
Joking,
been
of course,
phenomenal.
but
has been a phenomenal kicker.
Yeah, number one kicker in fantasy football right now. But yeah, I like the Rams. 11 points is a lot to cover, but given the scenario here, I'm going to take it anyways.
Actually, one thing that I was thinking about in the previous matchup with the Browns, me and Jake were talking about it today. Remember when those Browns had Bill Belichick and Nick Saban in their coaching staff?
Yeah.
The Browns seem to mess everything up. That's why they are trash.
They even messed up. How do you mess up Johnny Manziel?
Dude, Johnny Manziel's the GOAT, man. How are you going to do that to my boy?
Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon, they messed up.
Oh,
Just
man.
kidding. Those are at their fault. Yeah,
there you go. There's a story to talk about Josh Gordon. Next game we got the Zekeless Dallas Cowboys heading into the ATL to play them Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons.
I just got a prophetic vision.
What do you got?
The year is 2049. Ezekiel Elliott has just appealed his 337th court hearing.
Yes.
Not going to happen because he's suspended for 6 games.
Tell you what. I wrote this line before he got suspended. What do you know what the line is, Steven or Jake? Can you give me a line? I got Atlanta at -3.
Yep, same here.
Okay, so it didn't fluctuate due to that. I said earlier in the week I'm taking Dallas, but that was obviously very contingent on Ezekiel Elliott playing or not. Due to the circumstances, I'm now taking Atlanta on the win, and I got Atlanta winning straight up as this one. They've been really bad recently, the Falcons. I got them at 0-5 against the spread in their last 5. But I think that's going to change this week. And I got them 1-4 straight up in their last 5 too. So hopefully they trend in the right direction here. Because I'm going Atlanta on the -3.
Yeah, I believe Atlanta is going to kind of give Dallas a taste of its own medicine here. I think Devontae Freeman, Chout knows. He's going to have a big game this week. I know Dallas. Let's see here. Dallas is in the bottom half of the league as well against the rush this year, even though I know they have a Tank Lawrence coming off the edge there. He's been deadly. I do think he'll get to Matt Ryan a few times, but I think Julio pop off. I think Devontae Freeman will pop off. And I think Dallas falls on the road here. I think Atlanta gets a little back on track here. I know they got to play well here to try to catch New Orleans coming in and stay ahead of Carolina. So I think Atlanta gets back on track with this win here. I think they play themselves into a wild card spot as well.
Yeah, Atlanta is definitely in that Super Bowl hangover still through 10 weeks with all their star players not seemingly.
They were in the Super Bowl hangover after the first half of the Super Bowl, I
thought. All their star players seemingly are not putting up the numbers that most people expected. Steve, what do you got?
Yeah, I know if you're a fantasy football player or a team owner, I know they're going to have the few back spots probably going to be split between Alfred Morris and tell me the other one.
Darren McFadden?
Yeah, Darren McFadden. I think Alfred Morris is probably going to start off with the bulk of the carries. If you're a fantasy football owner, I would say go ahead and pick up Alfred Morris. I've had him on my bench probably the last 3 weeks. I did not know if he was going to play or not. Not starting him yet. But
Yeah, it would take some stones to start him.
It's gonna come down to really about who's going to carry away. I don't think they're going to go committee forever. But I mean that Dallas O-line is so good, and Alfred Morris is no bum. He can run the rock. So
you can put anybody
and I think Devontae Freeman has been shaken up all week as well. But I like Dallas. I like Dallas in this game. I think they'll pull it out. I'm not sold on the way Matt Ryan has been playing either, but I like Dallas with the road win.
Yeah, going off of that. Honestly, I don't know where I was going with that.
Go ahead and jump over.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on now. Sorry, I'm thinking about this ale house that we're about to chow down on here in the next hour or so.
Captain Jack.
We got Magic Suns. By the way, stay tuned for some NBA knowledge getting dropped on you.
It's going to be extremely biased toward the Orlando Magic.
Absolutely.
Golden State Warriors of the East.
And by the way, it is no longer the Orlando Magic. It is the Orlando Jick.
It's the Jig, guys.
We're going with the Jig.
Trademarked by Sport Profits. Brought to you by Bark.
Woohoo!
I'm wearing my throwback Orlando Magic jersey, T-Mac on the back. Let's go to the next game.
All right. You guys ready for this one? Because I'm not. Giants, 49ers.
College football we're talking about.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I couldn't care less about this game. I don't give a shit about this game.
1-7 versus 0-9.
I do not care about this game at all, but I know Giants are the 2.5 point favorite. I went as far as to not even writing any notes on this game because I don't give a damn about this game.
You want to hear something funny?
What do you got?
Looking at the preview of the game, and they got the stats with each player. They got the picture. C.J. Beathard has a Iowa helmet on in his picture.
Hey,
there you go.
They don't even got him with the individual photo.
Oh man, this is gonna be a rough game, bro. But I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. We got Giants at 2.5. I don't know anything. I'm staying the hell away from this game. But I got the Giants at 2.5 just for the sake of the pod.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah. I picked up Darkwa. He's the I think that's how you pronounce it. The Giants running back. I think he'll have a good game. San Francisco's terrible against the rushes this year. I think they're second to last in the league. So I do think he'll have a big game. If you're a fantasy owner out there, I think he'd be a good flex play. But I do like the Giants to win this game. I'm sorry, my dad's a big Hawkeye fan. I'm kind of born into Hawkeye, but Beathard's going to get put on his ass a few times here by the three-fingered menace, Pierre Paul.
Old bum blowing his hand off with some fireworks.
I think Landon Collins is actually... The man needs to find a way out of here. Needs to find somewhere to get paid at, somewhere else, because he's a phenomenal football player, Landon Collins. I love Landon Collins. But yeah, I think the Giants win this one pretty handily. I think they actually cover the 2.5 as well.
You guys ready for this one?
Here it comes.
San Francisco.
Wow.
Yes.
Lock of the week.
Yes.
Lock of the week.
No.
San Francisco 49ers.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No.
Let me just say, this is the second week in a row my boy Steven Livingston has bet high on the Iowa Hawkeyes, and I am proud for it.
That's right. If you follow us on our Twitter page, we dropped a gem last week, taking the Hawkeyes over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Won me a whole lot of cash. I don't know about you guys.
I didn't have the stones to pull it off.
Follow the Sports Profits on Twitter. Anyways, let me get into this. Ben McAdoo absolutely tearing his locker room apart.
Hey, don't talk shit about me, bro.
Like the nation of America is torn apart right now. And you look at San Francisco's schedule coming along, this might be the only win they can get this year.
Oh, man.
I think they're going to feed the hell out of Carlos Hyde.
Lock of the week.
Jump at Eli Manning. And I like this one in a
I got a question for you boys.
Yes.
Why the hell is San Francisco not playing Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't know.
I don't think there's a point in playing him right now.
I understand that. But you make the move. You make the move for him.
He'll play.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's the last 2 games, he'll play. He'll get in the system, but because, I mean, he's their guy. He's their guy now, but...
hey, it's going to get a little weird, but Jimmy Garoppolo, best-looking quarterback in the NFL.
He's a good-looking guy. I'm going Sam Bradford.
Good-looking guy,
yeah.
Yes.
No. I'm going Garoppolo on that one. Handsome dude.
I'm going to go no comment.
Moving on.
Okay, Sunday night game. Prime time. New England Patriots duking it out with the atrocious Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium. We got the 7.5 point favorite for the Patriots. New England has been 6-3 straight up in its last 9. And Denver has been 2-6 against the spread in its last 8 games at Denver. So, looking at previous trends, Denver has not been very good against the spread at home. New England, I feel like, I don't know. This is always an interesting matchup because we've seen it in several AFC ship games or just before the AFC Championship. It's a good rivalry. I'm glad this is a primetime game. Denver's defense has been playing some pretty good football, as they always do.
They gave up 51 points last week. Go ahead.
Who'd they play?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Fair.
Yeah, given the circumstance, that is quite a good.
They are a scary defense, but they gave up the 51.
Statistically, all right,
they're pretty good defense.
They're definitely a run defense this season.
Yeah, I saw a clip.
It does not help when your defense is your offense as well.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of Lane Johnson literally throwing Von Miller to the ground, and Von Miller looked like a rag doll, basically.
The Denver Broncos has definitely been a run defense, as we saw earlier in the season, held Ezekiel Elliott to 9 yards. But New England, I'm assuming they're still the number one offense in the league. Maybe they're not down to 2 behind Philadelphia. Jake, you got that for me?
Yeah, let's take a look. I'll get it pulled up for you. It looks like they... actually, Denver's the number one defense in the league, like you said, Billy. Philadelphia is the number one.
Asshole.
Philadelphia is the number one offense in the league.
Hey, my Chiefs number 2.
4.
Okay, well, they're coming off bye, so we got Tom Brady heading into the second half of the season. Definitely going to play some phenomenal football, and so is that coach, Bill Belichick. I'm going New England on the win, but I think Denver is going to find a way to cover the 7.5. Actually, I'm sitting here thinking about this. I'm assuming, is Brock Osweiler going to get the start?
He is.
He is?
I believe so.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm going New England on the minus 7.5 because Brock Osweiler has been atrocious.
Yeah. Did you put in on this, Jake?
Not yet. But go ahead.
I got you. Yeah. So I was all for Denver with the points. Especially with New England traveling about 3,000 miles across the country, going to the Mile High. Which is also a pretty tough place to play. The sea level thing is real.
For sure.
Yeah. But like I said, when you give up 51 points, you have to return your scary defense card. You can still be good, just not scary anymore.
Fair enough.
And then I really hate Denver for just feeding into that Philadelphia cancer disease that they have over there. You can obviously tell they're not used to winning. And if you're an Eagles fan, I hate you.
Oh yeah.
But I'm taking New England. It's tough to say with the points. This is kind of a weird game, but I'll take Denver with the points in a closer game.
Hey, sidebar.
Go ahead.
How many teams? When is it inappropriate for you to wear a player's jersey? How many teams do they have to go through? Is it as soon as they're off that team, you can't wear their jersey?
If you're wearing a Deshaun Jackson jersey,
yes,
you're out of the picture.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Because that dude's been through 2 teams, so... are we saying as soon as they're off the team, you got to retire the jersey until they retire?
It depends on what terms they leave the team.
Nah. If I'm throwing on a Peyton Manning Colts jersey, nobody's...
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like I said,
we're
we're
talking bum dudes like Deshaun Jackson. I mean...
Yeah. That's true.
As soon as they leave the team...
Now, here's the thing, though. In 20 years, it will be appropriate to wear a LaShawn McCoy Eagles jersey, I believe.
For sure. Yeah, he was a very vital part of that offense.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely, depending on how he ends his career. To chime in on this game, one side note I'd like to add is that if you have either Emmanuel Sanders or Demaryius Thomas, I'll go ahead and start them this game. New England's the second worst pass defense.
Yes.
This week, I know they do have Osweiler starting, and I don't think he's going to be phenomenal.
I think that's why it'll be kind of close. I think they'll kind of give Osweiler the Brady treatment. He's going to be throwing slants down the field the whole game.
And, of course, Denver's probably going to be trailing most of this game, so they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. I don't think you should start C.J. Anderson if you have him. But with that being said, I like New England with the 7.5. I think they win by about 10. And I think that is because Brady doesn't lose.
And if you're worried about Brady on the road, they have won 11 consecutive road games in a row.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
I think anybody with the first name Brock is probably doomed to throw 3 interceptions because that is a douche name.
Also, unfortunate, the Frats just got suspended at FSU, so Brock is probably upset there.
Yeah, Brock is a douche.
Brock is pissed.
All right, last game we got the
and
Monday.
His boy, Brad.
And Chad.
And Brad and Chad. Last game we got Miami Dolphins heading into
man.
Carolina.
Charlotte.
Monday Night Football. Somehow Miami has landed 2 primetime games in a row. Interesting there. Carolina is the 9-point favorite here. Heading to Charlotte. Let's take a look at the trends. We got Carolina 4-2 against the spread in the last 6. And Miami 2-3-2 against the spread in the last 7.
Did Miami just get the longest possible layoff you can possibly? Did they get a Thursday to a Monday?
No, they had Sunday Night Football last week, right?
So they had 3. Yeah. They had 3 primetime games in a row.
Oh yeah, they did. Thursday, they did go Thursday,
a
then
Sunday,
they went Sunday,
and a Monday.
Yeah. Okay,
wow.
There you go. Getting the whole treatment there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sold on Miami. Miami's trash.
Miami has played pretty well last week, but
you are talking about Oakland's atrocious defense.
You guys ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready for this because I know it's going to be a bomb.
Lock number 2.
No,
not on the win, but on the spread. This is free money. If you are listening to this under the sound of my voice, go to your local bank, take out the highest loan you can, and put it on Miami versus the spread.
No.
Free money.
No.
Smart money of America
No.
is on Miami. I'm taking them versus Carolina, especially if Jay Cutler plays the way he played last week. Looks like they got a little bit more youth at that running, a little bit more speed at that running position. Cutler spreading the ball around. Landry's a top 10 receiver this year. He's playing great. Go ahead, Jay.
Question. Do you think Miami's missing Jay Ajayi?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I couldn't agree more. I think it was good for both parties. I think Jay Ajayi.
Don't get me wrong. I've talked to tons of Miami fans about this. They think that they didn't maximize his value, but yeah, I don't know.
There was a lot of talk around the league that his knees were giving out on him as well.
Homeboy's knees are about to just click clack right beneath him, and he's going to be done though.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be when the Eagles are trying to make that playoff run in the NFC, about that second round, and that star running back is going to be out.
Let me chime in here. I like Carolina. I like what Steve said there too. Miami versus the points. I like Carolina both ways here. So yeah, Carolina against the points or with the points here. I think Cam's gonna have a good game. I think you're gonna see a touchdown out of Devin Funches. I'm starting Cam, so I'm praying that's what's gonna happen this week. So
hey, maybe a little shovel pass to my boy Christian McCaffrey, representing those white dudes in the NFL. All right. Tell you what, for the sake of this podcast, I'm going to go Carolina on the points. I know it's a lot, but Carolina's defense has been pretty solid. Hopefully they'll be able to get to Jay Cutler, knock him around a little bit, maybe get in his head and force him not to play as well as he did last week. Anything else you guys got to add as we wrap up here?
No.
I think
have
we're
a
good.
safe week this week, everybody listening.
Absolutely.
Have a fun week watching some football.
Yeah, as always, please give us a follow on Twitter at sports_profits. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, we are building an empire here at the Sports Profits. Be ready for some basketball tweets, some basketball podcasts with our guy Stephen Livingston over here.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us personally on Twitter. I'm Billy Narrett. We got Stephen Livingston over here and Jake Rickard. As always, thank you to Barcode Suppliers for making this possible. We appreciate all your hard work. You guys have a great night, all right? We'll look forward to seeing you next time.